Welcome to Mind and Movement, getting smart about how you move. I'm Hazel. Thanks for joining me for Coffee and Move 44, where you and I sit down, drink some coffee, and talk a little bit about our bodies and do some movements for some specific parts of our bodies. Today I'm drinking some hot hummingbird coffee from just up the road, which is really yum. I'm going to bolster myself up here, and today we're going to do a bit of footwork and a bit of work for the quads and lengthening the quads. I've been doing a lot of restorative exercise classes over the last wee while, taking this opportunity to get all my CEUs done, and it's been really fun to do a couple of classes a day, just really get a lot of movement in. And I've been walking, and so today I really just want to get some movement happening in my feet. So we're going to do the top of the foot stretch, the advanced version of that after we have finished holding hands with our feet. So holding hands with your feet, the idea here is to spread the bones between the toes, the phalanges, but also the metatarsals here. So by getting our fingers in between our toes, we can spread these metatarsals in our forefoot. We can open up all those little intrinsic foot muscles and remind them that they are alive and can work. So we're going to do that, get a bit of movement into the forefoot that way. So it always surprises me how much more distance I can get after just holding hands with my feet for a couple of minutes. So like I said, you can do both at the same time. I'm doing them separately today, so I've got a hand free for drinking coffee. So yeah, we want to open up the foot. We want to remind those muscles within the forefoot there that they are alive and can work. So there we have it. The toe spreading nature of the holding hands with your feet. So I'm just going to open my feet right up there. Cool. Pushing my big toe down into the ground there, getting a little bit of the flexor for the toe there working. So I'm going to do the advanced top of the foot stretch. So if you haven't done this one before, this is a stretch for the top of the foot, not for the ankle. So here, if your ankle is going a long way past neutral, you might want to bolster up under here. That's going to be too big, I think. I don't know. It is a wee bit too big for me. So if you're worried about your ankle going too far that way, this is an exercise to move the top of the foot, not to extremely plantarflex the ankle. So you can get a bolster under there, actually. That ball is going to be the perfect bolster for me there. So this is, again, a load for the top of the foot. And I'm going to help my foot get a little bit of extra movement. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to come forward a little bit more. So I'm getting that movement through the top of the foot there. Yeah, it feels good. Of course, for you, if this is too much, you can do the standing version or the sitting version of the top of the foot stretch. Oh yeah, loving that. That feels really good. Okay, on the other side, if you haven't got a half roller like this, you can use a rolled up towel. Whatever you want to get your foot up on. You're trying to keep your foot relatively straight and neutral, so you don't want a big bend in the ankle there. And then we're just loading as you bring your body weight over the top of that foot. Again, we're not stretching here, so if that's going too far that way, bolster there. The movement we want is in the top of the foot. Helping my foot get a little bit more movement by gently massaging through there. Lovely. Okay, so I'm going to get back in and do holding hands with my feet again now. I was just thinking the other day it would have been so cool to do this in a room with people, but that's the whole reason I did it, because we couldn't see each other because of the lockdown. So for many of you might have done the Restore course that I put out over the lockdown. If you haven't, that's going to be up on my website soon for you to purchase for just $50 plus GST. That's New Zealand dollars, so that's like not much. Yeah, and I highly recommend it. It's just all about restoring movements to the parts of our body that have lost movement due to our culture, due to shoe wearing, due to chair wearing, due to computer wearing, and you know what I mean by wearing, just being in those positions a lot. So the next course I am putting together is called Align. Realign, actually, it's not Align, it's all about realigning, having an understanding of what neutral actually means and how to progress towards getting there, knowing that we're not aiming for one static position, we're aiming to be expressing our full range of motion multiple times per day. And it's it's going to be really fun. It'll be a bit of a step up from Restore. So if you haven't done Restore, jump on in and do it. Okay, so there's holding hands with the feet, and let's jump into that advanced top of the foot stretch again. So again, I'm not trying to overload the ankle here and get massive amounts of plantar flexion. I'm trying to get movement through the top of the foot. Yeah, there we go. That feels good. So I don't know if you noticed, but I'm shifting my body slightly that way, because if I shift it more on top of this foot, it feels like it's slightly too much load. So that's cool, because I'm aware of the fact that I'm doing that. But if you're not aware of the fact of how you're shifting your body in order to unload parts of your body, you want to become aware of what you're doing. Many of us, when we're walking, we shift our weight forward because we don't have the strength in our legs to push us uphill. So it's important to know what you're doing. Getting smart about how you move. That's what it's all about. Understanding what you're doing. Being mindful of what you're doing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cool. Okay, and we'll do the top of the foot stretch on the other side there, and we'll finish up. So this will just be a couple of moves for the feet to get movement into the top of the foot, into the forefoot, the front of the foot. The other movement you could do a lot of here is forefoot inversion or toe downs. Pushing your big toe down into the ground without moving your femur, without moving your ankle. The movement must be coming from the foot. So lots of us try to get movement by moving elsewhere when we don't have the strength in the specific part of us that needs the strength to be able to carry out the movement. So you want to learn what you're doing. Oh yeah. Okay. So my feet are literally tingling, like in a good way right now. I can feel extra blood flow. My feet were quite cold before I started this, and now they're quite warm. So that's one of the cool things about moving parts of your body, is that you bring blood flow back into them, you bring them back to life. I'm going to say goodbye and do a couch stretch, but you can do a couch stretch too if you want. But I will see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me yet again. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. See ya.